Dirtfish Rally friends. They are breaking down the service park behind us, and that means we have a final result here at the Acropolis Rally of Greece. The re-emergence of a rallying god. Ott Tänak's won, and he's won it quite convincingly. I am beyond excited to see this vein of form that Tänak's in. For me, he's getting back to his finest. It sets up the championship challenge, the second half of the season, brilliantly.
Yeah, it feels like we've finally got an extra title contender in the mix now. You know, the first half of the season, not necessarily the first half, but the first third, we were all talking about what a start from Elfyn. How long can he carry this for? How will he manage that advantage? I don't think we're not going to be talking about that anymore. Forget for a second the fact that Ogier's 9 points behind. He's missing Estonia. Tänak not only has closed the gap, but looks like his old 2019 self.
He really does. He looks like himself, but a better version. And for me, that's, if I'm Elfyn Evans, better in terms of just his whole demeanour seems better. His whole demeanour seems better. That slight angst that he used to just project and occasionally used to scare us. It's not there. You know, it's been replaced occasionally, would you believe, by a smile.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the look of it.
No, absolutely. And I like the lack of fuss about it all. You know, you look through his rally, at any point, did he seem overly stressed, overly concerned? Was he on the edge at any point? Everything was completely under control.
It was.
And that is the mark of, well, we would say champion in waiting, as long as he's already champion, but a championship contender.
But what were Ott's issues at the end of the rally?
I was very worried, to be honest. In the stage, first I understood that third gear got very noisy, so I understood that this one broke. And then first few kilometers, the other gears at least were clean, but then soon, let's say, all the gearbox got very noisy, and then it was, let's say, we didn't have too much confidence anymore to finish the stage, but then we finished the stage, but then again, you know, you didn't have too much confidence to get here, so let's say it was definitely far too much stress to win a rally.
Seb talks a lot about strategy, doesn't he? And he talked particularly here about strategy. At times he was suggesting that maybe it was just, you know, flat out Ott Tänak, but you did have a strategy. Tell us about that.
I mean, the clear strategy was just to keep the air in the tires. That was the main thing, and to manage the tire wear and so on. But I would say we did everything perfectly. We pushed in the sections where it was smooth, where it was, let's say, a small risk, and these sections we gained the time, and others where the conditions were rougher, you know, we hold back. So that was the key for this weekend. Remarkably,
Al, for the third rally in a row, it was a Tänak-Ogier battle. I don't think we can underestimate the quality of Ogier's performance as well. Tänak was supreme. Ogier was pretty much right up there with him, second on the roads, and he battled all the way. Ogier again showed, if there was any questions over his class, and I don't think there can possibly be any questions, he showed that he is absolutely still capable.
No, absolutely. I suspect he got about the maximum out of the car in the situation that was available to him. You know, I had a feeling, based on how the previous two rounds had gone, that Hyundai had a slight pace advantage with their car. I think that helped a little bit, and it contributed to the end result, because we saw, for me, on Saturday, you know, Ogier not quite able to match the same pace as Ott, and I feel like some of that will have been down to car.
Yeah, watching those two battle was really quite remarkable, and I've really enjoyed the spirit in which they've engaged in that battle, and it was really obvious on the final podium, the real respect between Tänak and Ogier. We talked to Juha. He said there is a car available for you for every rally if you want it. I know you don't like this question, but can you tell us roughly what the plans might be for the rest of the year? Do you know yet, or are you just deciding week by week?
I gave the answer to all of your colleagues that the best way to find out is actually watching the entry list of every single event.
That's a nice situation to be in. So you sit at home and think, quite fancy going to Finland this week, or quite fancy going to CER this week.
Again, like you've seen already, next one I will definitely be sitting home, and I think I understood that the entry list for the one after is also coming soon, so not long to wait to know the answer.
Out 2 of the 3 podium cars were Hyundais. What a result. You know, they came into the rally needing a win, having not won this season. Not won since when? Oh, way back CER, was it?
I think so,
It
yeah.
was CER last year was the last one. They were desperate for a win. They put 2 cars on the podium. Vermeer was under pressure before this event. He had to deliver.
You know, that small mistake on Saturday where he hit the bank, damaged the car, bit of a mad rush to service, and we were thinking, is this where it all falls apart yet again and we get in the same story? But he held it together.
Adrian, enormous pressure on you to perform this weekend, and you delivered. How difficult was that?
Well, actually, I did like the challenge, but it's easier to say that at the end. You know? No, actually, I'm really pleased that it stopped a bit the Super Rally cycle we had a bit with Portugal and Sardinia. So actually, it's good to get a good result. We had some pressure from the team to deliver here, which we did. It was positive. We managed the issue we had yesterday, and some others we had also, but actually I'm pleased we managed the podium. It was important for us, for the team, and I'm happy also for Ott to get the victory. It's good also for the team.
I think we have to acknowledge the job that was done as well from first on the road by Elvin Evans. He had 3 difficult events, didn't he? In Portugal, in Sardinia and here. He's got them under his belt now. He still leads the championship 9 points ahead of Sebastian Ogier. Elvin Evans still got a job to do, but I think he can be pleased with his week's work here. Thierry Neuville, you compare Neuville's rally to Tänak's rally, chalk and cheese, night and day, completely different rallies. Neuville couldn't get the tyres to last. You know, Tänak didn't really have any issues with the tyres. Neuville had 1 or 2 technical issues. Tänak, other than that last stage little problem, his car worked really well for him. It was a funny old week from Neuville. He needed a result here, it didn't come to him.
Who were the drivers who suffered most with punctures on the Safari Rally?
Tell me,
Thierry Neuville and Takamoto Katsuta. And it's kind of the same here.
So does
Maybe
that
it's not a
suggest
coincidence.
Maybe it's not a coincidence.
Maybe.
I've said this all weekend. You know, there are many factors that go into the vulnerability of a wheel, a tyre, the suspension. A lot of it's to do with driving style, setup's another part of it, line, you know. There's so much other than just the tyres, and I don't think it's any coincidence. I think that's a very good observation now. Well, in 6th place is the first of our Rally 2 drivers, but we'll come to that because there are still some faltering Rally 1 drivers to discuss. Kalle Rovanperä, stutter. It was a bad weekend for you. Can you put it behind you?
Yeah, it's already behind. Well, this weekend nothing was working, to be honest. Not on the pace where I should be myself. I know there is room to improve. I was just not performing like I normally do, and then obviously when you are not comfortable in the car at the same time, then it's gonna be tricky.
Are you tired? Is that part of it? Are you tired? Are you exhausted? Is that part of the reason? Are you not? Is it fitness? Is that part of? Maybe is it all play into the situation?
I don't know. I feel fit for sure, but I think I also feel quite tired at the moment. So I can have a good rest before Estonia and be fresh there. That will help.
Wow, some really interesting observations from Kalle there. He's tired. Nothing worked for him. Needs a bit of a reset. Nobody expected to hear this from Rovanperä.
No, I mean, you don't expect to hear it out loud, but simultaneously, I can't say I'm entirely surprised either. I was lucky to be on an event with him late last year during his gap season, the Fiorio Cup, something he just went to do for fun. And the difference in disposition between then and now is like night and day.
He's gone and tried different formulas. He's had fun. It's no longer fun. And when it's not fun, it's very tiring. And I think that's an issue. And I think once he gets around that, which he will do, I think he needs a little bit of guidance. And there are plenty of people out there who will offer him the right sort of guidance. What about Takamoto Katsuta? Well, more problems for our young Japanese driver today. It's been a tough old weekend for Takamoto. Yes, he's had punctures. He's also made mistakes out there. Pressure beginning to mount. What about then our M Sport drivers? Well, I'll tell you what. Have a look at this. You must have higher expectations for the fast gravel rallies because you were magnificent there last year. If you don't have the expectations a lot of other people do you begin to feel that the weight of those expectations, the pressure of those
I
expectations?
just finished the rally 15 minutes ago, this one, and you're already asking me if I feel pressure for the next one.
Absolutely. Well, that's because we have to write about the next one. So we'll
We'll
move
worry
on.
about it in a few days.
Well, I'm not worried about it. I just want to know what your preparation is going to be like, and and the amount of expectation on you, and whether or not you feel that pressure.
Well, I've just finished Rally of Greece, and there's few days to start prepare for Estonia, and then we'll think about it.
Are you considering any extra events before Estonia and then Finland to maybe give you a little bit more seat time?
No.
So it's purely that one-day test that you've got in Finland.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
I don't know. We'll see in Estonia.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, do you know what? I'm a big fan of Martin Sessions. I like him. I think he's got talent. I think young drivers are under enormous pressure to perform these days. I think that answer was quite telling in terms of the mounting pressure on Martin Sessions. We want to see a return to the form that we saw in Poland and Latvia, Al. I feel sorry for him, I really do. But it was a reasonable question. The expectations, the pressure is building on that young man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been there from the very start. You have to go back to before any of this started to contextualize, I feel. He was really, 3 years ago, he close to run out of money. He had no program, picked up a few bits here and there, got a win in the ERC in Poland and in Latvia. That gave him this opportunity backed by the promoter to get in a Rally 1 car, and he absolutely maximised that chance. So he's ended up here kind of against his own expectations in the first place. Suddenly he's been thrust into this life-changing opportunity.
Yeah, we wish him well, we really do. And I will be delighted if he goes to Estonia and gets, what is the result? The result for me is a top 6 finish,
I would have said top 5, so
top
about
5,
there.
top 6, and showing
And-
one or two glimpses. And it only has to be one or two glimpses of what just blew us all away last year. So it was a real shame that we didn't see Gregoire Munster out there. Have a look on our website, you can read the story as to why he didn't make it out on today's stages. He was good this weekend. He absolutely stuck to the plan that was set for him, and it looked as if that plan was going to deliver results. Real big disappointment that we didn't see Munster out there today. So, back to the man in 6th place, our winning WRC2 driver. The man who I said last night I think is too good for the class. We've proved it again. A great win from Oliver Solberg. He has been untouchable this year. And Al, there's an interesting stat.
Then
What's
there
that?
is. Well, take a look at the championship standings, and you'll notice that there's an interloper ahead of all the M Sport drivers, and his name's Oliver Solberg in a Rally 2 car.
You look at Rally 1 and there are a number of drivers who are underperforming in Rally 1. Should they be concerned? Because Oliver Solberg is ready and waiting to jump back in a Rally 1 car and perform.
I am 100% ready. I have been developing very well the last 3 years, I think, and feeling more and more confident, building first the speed and then building the consistency. And I think I don't want to jump in. I want to be prepared for the future and feel ready when I'm going to do it again, because I'm not doing it halfway again.
In terms of magnificent displays, other than Ott Tänak, driver of the rally for you.
It's hard to look past Oliver Solberg in that case. He again dominant in a similar way to Tänak was at the top level. I don't think anyone else can compare, really.
I'm going to go with Ogier. I thought Ogier was wonderful. I thought his performance today was incredible, maximising his points on the Super Sunday. Don't forget that, we're here to deliver all the rally news from the World Rally Championship, from the American Rally Championship, from championships around the world. But more than that, we are the world's very, very best rally school. And if what you see here, what you hear from Acropolis, if what these drivers are doing is inspiring you to think about becoming a rally driver, maybe not at this level, but who knows? Once you get started, where might it take you? But if you do want to get started, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to unlock those talents and that passion for the sport. Greece always delivers in bucket loads. We've had a lot of fun, folks. It's been great having you along. We'll see you out in a few weeks' time in Estonia, where we return to the fast gravel.